can we just come together and be okay with one another?
What do you mean?
Man, I was watching like a new addressing of the California Union yesterday, and
There's something going on out here.
Some cars are burning, and people are throwing rocks and stuff like that. Like,
really?
There's a lot of there's just some unresolved issues, and it seems like it's like the gloves are all the way off. And, I mean, maybe you could have saved that one for yours because it really is like it's really bad. I hope that there can be a resolution that is achieved and accomplished, because this should be all about solutions. So what's going on in California is my bad for the week, obviously.
Yeah, that is bad and ugly, but from bad to worse. What was ugly this week? How about the
I'll do that, Jonas. I'll do that one.
No habla.
No habla. Well, you ain't lying.
No. Stay away. Stay away. Stay away.
Well, guys, what was ugly this week is just the time between games. Not often that we have like a bunch of dead air between these games, NBA Finals, NHL.
I don't even care to watch it.
Yeah.
When's the next one? Tonight? Is it tonight? I lost track.
I give up. Yeah,
man. We got a whole hour of radio left, and we haven't talked about NBA one time.
Damn.
We're going to talk about it during break.
When you stay in your home, what you love gets to stay too. From the gardens that grow wild to the grandkids that run wilder. From the Friday night baseball games to the Sunday morning brunches. Even the daily crosswords and weekly book clubs. There's room for it all with help from Home Instead, the largest in-home senior care network with over 30 years of trusted experience delivering the peace of mind you deserve. Visit Home Instead online for a better what's next.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
A stalled vehicle blocks off the left lane on the upper deck of I-35 northbound at 38.5 Street. There's a crash on FM 973 at Tesla River Road, and looking at the drive this morning on 183 northbound for some stop-and-go speeds, about a 10 to 15-minute delay going from Burleson Road up to Highway 71. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay. Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at the prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Meta AI is the personal AI that's tailored to you. Now with its very own app. It's built to get to know you, offering helpful answers and inspiration. If you're looking for something to add to your bucket list, Meta AI goes beyond traveling the world. It remembers you're a basketball fan and suggests you attend one of the playoff games. Just start typing or speaking to get the answers you need, wherever, whenever, because Meta AI is your personal AI. Download and try the app today. Now available on the Apple App Store or Google Play.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again. Because more people are listening to the radio on iHeart today than they were 20 years ago. And only iHeart Broadcast Radio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, social, any other media. Even twice as many teens than TikTok. And that reach means everything. Just think about the universal marketing formula. The number of consumers who hear your message times the response rate equals the results. Now let's get those results growing for your business. Radio's here now more than ever, and iHeart's leading the way. Think radio can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, podcasting, and radio, where the reach is real. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. or call 844-844-iHeart. One more time, just call 844-844-iHeart and get radio working for you.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Find your iHeartRadio everywhere. There are hundreds of ways to experience iHeartRadio at home and on the go, beyond the iPhone and Android app and at iHeartRadio.com. Here's another way to connect to iHeartRadio. Apple CarPlay. Our iOS app comes alive in your car's dashboard with a seamless way to play your favorite music, radio stations, and podcasts. Developed with driver safety in mind, the Apple CarPlay interface was built for simple navigation and to limit driver distraction while making sure you can still access all your favorite content from iHeartRadio. No need to download another app. Just plug or pair your iPhone with your dash, and if CarPlay is available in your vehicle, iHeartRadio will sync automatically. iHeartRadio, everywhere you want to listen, including in your car through Apple CarPlay. Check it out for free now. iHeartRadio, anywhere you want to listen, iHeartRadio is there.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. It's the Morning Kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland,
Leander, and Silsbee, Texas.
Or wherever you may be listening. This is a way back Wednesday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. OTAs are going on. Some people show up, some people do not, and C.J. Stroud is active. The NBA Finals are back in action. Trey Johnson gets an invite. Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman joins us at 7:34. Chris Hummer of 24/7 Sports joins us at 8:17, talking house settlement and transfer portal. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And of course, we've got our guy Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. And if you want a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest, all you got to do is use that talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app, and you'll get a chance to win them, and we'll give you the keyword of today. Oh, my goodness. I want to get into this because we talked about it yesterday. OTAs are in full effect right now. 24 teams went to camp yesterday. Aaron Rodgers is saying all of the right things, and he admitted that he did get married. He didn't expand on the conversation, but Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen all got married during the offseason, and maybe that is why he did not want to go to camp, because he was still getting ready for his honeymoon, but he signed in time. Came in and he addressed the team yesterday and basically told them, I'm all in. Now that I'm here, let's get to work. And so that's good. But TJ Watt is not there. He is trying to hold out for a new deal. Obviously, Myles Garrett is the big name that got paid this offseason. By the way, Myles Garrett was asked about Aaron Rodgers, and he said, all that does, we play him twice, I get to put him in the graveyard. So I mean, he's ready. And if you saw the video of Myles Garrett, He looks like he putting a lot of people in the graveyard. So it'll be an interesting time.
He got that Clubber Lang energy right there.
Yeah, he looked real strong. TJ Watt is out. Trey Hendrickson is out as well. He's another defensive end that is looking for a new deal. But let's just say this. The Cincinnati Bengals, I think we've all in agreement that they are not run well.
You want to hear what Cincinnati Bengals are really saying?
What?
I ain't got it, man.
Yeah. Well,
I don't have it.
They do have it. They don't want to spend it. That's why they were selling TVs and trying to do things like that when they were
so
trying.
Embarrassing.
It is. Think about that.
That's absolutely embarrassing.
Think about that. They were trying to sell TVs to try to get money for the TVs that they were replacing. You know this. We talked about this.
I know.
And it is utterly ridiculous that this organization
is nickel and diming like that when it's such a write-off. Every season, they get between $60 and $80 million. Every franchise.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that you're so poorly run or so cheap that you can't pull $30 million of that and pay your best player?
Somebody you need?
You need it to
especially
have a successful
in that
season.
division. In that division, you got to be able to get to the quarterback and put him on the ground.
I just, I can see why, people won't sign with Cincinnati until they get their money, because it's like waiting on a bounce check.
Yeah.
Why would you? They need to strip that franchise of the ownership.
Well,
and they can do it if they want to.
Well, their number one pick, Shamar Stewart, former Texas A&M Fighting Aggie, he spoke yesterday because he is waiting for his deal to be signed because Cincinnati's just going to Cincinnati.
Like some people say, we all agree Trey will be right? But technically he's still 1% wrong for being under contract. So in my case, I'm 100% right. So it should be a no-brainer. And in Trey's case, I think it should be a no-brainer too. I mean, he led 17.5 sacks for 2 years back-to-back. If I was the GM or I was the owner, take all my money. But I guess they don't operate like that. But
this is a poorly run franchise. So bad that the reason why Shamar Stewart hasn't signed his contract is because they tried to throw something in there that they have never thrown into a contract. And Pat McAfee talked about this yesterday.
We got to correct the story. Shamar Stewart, we said his agent must be a super genius.
Yeah.
It's kind of slotted in there. What are we doing? You're the 17th overall pick. Yeah. The CBA has this thing. Pro Football Talks Mike Florio has reported, as previously explained, so I guess he has done this before. Not enough people saw it, and that is what he is saying.
Sorry, Mike.
The Bengals have decided to wedge a new clause into Shadar Stewart's deal. The clause would turn a default in any given year into a void of all remaining guarantees. In prior Bengals contracts, a void wiped out only the guarantee for the year in which the default occurred. Stewart refuses to be the guinea pig for the new term, and the Bengals refuse to blink. As a result, Shamar Stewart will be less prepared for training camp than he would have been. Okay, so the Bengals are doing Bengals stuff.
Yeah, I respect it. I respect what
I like what the agent's doing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the first one. How am I supposed to tell? He's also a young agent.
Yeah.
So I'm a young agent. I'm supposed to just tell this. Yeah, for the first time ever, we're agreeing to something. No way. Why are the Bengals doing this?
They're the worst. That's
They
why.
do. And to Shamar and the agent, we apologize for not knowing that before. Florio tried to tell us.
I mean, it is amazing to me that you are trying to slip in a language in the contract to try to be the first one
of all time in any franchise. We're gonna try this on you. No, you're not.
And the CBA should jump into this
Yeah,
right now.
I was just about to say, where's the CBA?
Yeah. I'm thinking they're about to hop in there.
Because they get that collective bargaining money.
Yes.
They get that $60 to $80 million off the jump. So nobody's unfolded a chair, opened a door, pulled the window shade down, or nothing. You get the money.
Yeah.
And you can't pay this dude? That's ridiculous, man. Golly, Bengals.
Yeah.
Do the right thing.
Well, remember, Joe Burrow even said it himself. He's like, can this be a distraction? Absolutely.
Yes, it can.
It's going to be. Just like last year when they didn't want to pay Jamar Chase or
Higgins.
And
Jamar Chase was the number one wide receiver in the NFL at the time.
Right. I think he had the Triple Crown last year.
Yes, he did.
I think he had the Triple Crown last year. So, I mean.
I don't know. What you mean you don't know?
Yes, it just doesn't make any sense to me that every year we have to deal. The story is about holdouts. And the reason why we're talking about holdouts is because of this organization and the way they run things.
And the chili sucks.
Remember, Carson Palmer quit football.
To get away from them.
To get away from Cincinnati. Wow. Because they didn't want to pay their franchise quarterback the money to get there.
What are we doing here, guys?
It's obvious. They are not serious. And the thing about it is they got great players.
They have incredible players. They have
great players. You just mentioned it. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow.
Higgins.
Hendrickson. And then you just drafted your future and you try to throw in a clause in the contract that makes you wonder, like, what are you doing?
When does being embarrassed?
It doesn't. When you're rich, it don't matter. They're rich. That's why they.
Maybe that's why they stay rich.
That's why
they won't spend it.
Exactly. They don't want to spend it. And as you said, the value of the franchise continues to. You get more money every year. You're getting money.
Could they get to the point, Hardge, where a player goes, and with the 16th pick, in Cincinnati Bengals, nope.
Can't do it.
No, don't draft me.
What'd you say a minute ago? I ain't got it.
I ain't got
the time to go over there and play for that squad.
That's ridiculous. It's getting to that point. If Cincinnati drafts me, I'm not going.
I mean,
that could happen in our lifetime.
But you look at it, like he said, like Shamar Stewart said, he's like, if I'm the GM, I'm looking at this and saying, we have to pay this guy. We have to pay Trey Hendrickson. He's the ultimate weapon that we have. And then you look at, you drafted me.
Right. Why you draft me if you don't want to pay?
And then you're going to give me a clause, and the clause basically says all guarantees are wiped out if they void the contract. Like if you get injured. Like all the guaranteed and escalators are gone.
Right.
Forever.
Right.
Like not just for the season. They're trying to make it where this dude don't get paid, period.
Huh?
Yeah. Where they do that at? That ain't happening. Exactly. We are just getting started here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Coming up next, the Houston Texans. CJ showing up to camp. And they had to have the practice. My man is doing his thing. We'll talk all about it. Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman at 7:30. And we'll finish out the hour talking Texas baseball. All right here on a way back Wednesday edition of the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Light the tower burnt orange.
Grounded to short, backhanded by Good, fires to first. Texas wins the national championship.
Texas softball has won their first national championship in program history.
The Longhorns are on top of the college softball world.
1300 The Zone, the home of national champion Texas softball.
Capital One cardholders can score their iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets starting today at 1 p.m. Eastern. Tickets are only available while pre-sale tickets last or until Friday, June 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And that's not all. Add a Capital One Access Pass to your pre-sale purchase to attend an exclusive pre-concert event with a private performance from LL Cool J on Friday or Jelly Roll on Saturday. Only available during the cardholder pre-sale.
Pre-sale tickets are limited and will go fast. So visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One to buy today.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Streaming live only on Hulu.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's a stalled vehicle on the upper deck of I-35 northbound at 38.5 Street, blocking off the left lane. We have a crash being worked on Tesla River Road at FM 973, and some more stop-and-go traffic rush hour speeds on I-35 northbound, about a 7 to 10 minute delay between Onion Creek Parkway and William Cannon Drive. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Bosch. With the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer, you can conquer your construction needs, and you can powerfully break through concrete. Get the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings. Need space that's designed to last? Mueller Inc. delivers pre-engineered steel buildings customized for your style. From garages and workshops to barns, warehouses, even airplane hangars. Our bolt-together buildings are designed to last decades with proper installation and maintenance. Designed for strength, engineered for Texas. Visit us today at any of our locations across the Austin area, including Marble Falls and Spicewood. Or go to MuellerInc.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
At Hannah Chevrolet, we like to keep things simple. So the price we agree on is the exact price you pay. That means no bait and switches, no absurd additions, no mandatory dealer packages that are magically added at the finance table. At Hannah, this can save you $3,000 to $5,000. Just straightforward, all-inclusive pricing, incredible customer service, and a vehicle you're going to love. So come in and together let's drive at Hannah Chevrolet or Hannah.com.
Friends, if you live in Austin, Bastrop, Georgetown, Colleen, or Lockhart, and you're tired of paying too much for car insurance, pick up the phone and call Fred Loya Insurance today. Insurance rates are constantly changing, which is why you need to call Fred Loya Insurance right now for a new and updated quote. Call now. Save money. It's that easy. Call Fred Loya Insurance at 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040 or visit fredloya.com. Remember, if you don't call, you don't save.
The Medal of Honor is the highest military decoration in the United States. Recipients have done the improbable.
This medal is for the man who went down that day.
On Medal of Honor, stories of courage, you'll hear about these heroes and what their stories tell us about the nature of bravery. Listen to Medal of Honor on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Medal of Honor and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em horns.
Mike Hardball, world's strongest WWE Hall of Fame. Mark, and of course our guy Mark. Make sure you continue to tune in to the show as I'm going to give you an opportunity to win a pair of tickets to go see Alice Cooper and Judith Green October 25th at the movie theater. So you don't want to miss that. But I want to go to H-Town with the get down. Your spot, Marcus, your area of town. And talk a little bit about the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans have started OTAs, and you know as well as I do, this is where everybody believes their team is going to the Super Bowl. They believe that they got the pieces for it, and you know that you got the quarterback. And the quarterback just happens to be C.J. Stroud. We did a get over to our social media page on AM 1300. We posted the other day. Mark's take was believing that the Houston Texans did everything they needed to do to be a team of opportunity. They got a chance to make something happen. But you can't do that without your quarterback, and your quarterback was running for his life, and now he had to deal with a shoulder injury from what we were told, shoulder fatigue. But CJ was like, "No, dog, I'm fine."
Yeah, I mean, I was already throwing, before you guys see me out there, pretty normally. It's just, I think y'all don't have much to talk about, so everything is blown up in the off season. So I'm fine, man. I'm really okay.
Yeah, CJ let you know that he's doing just fine. He's doing okay. But now also you start to think about, okay, what else is going on? And D'Amico had to answer all those questions, and he was like, yeah, you knew he was going to throw.
Oh, CJ threw today, right? All right. Yeah. Just the
he was making fun of the people because everybody believed that something was wrong with CJ and that it was going to be a lingering issue. And like CJ said, hey, man, y'all just think that I wasn't throwing. Like, how do you think my shoulder got tired, basically? In his mind is like, I've been working out the entire time.
In other words,
it's easy to sum it up when you just talk about practice. We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice.
Yeah, we talk about practice. But you got to practice in other people's eyes.
Standing on, Marcus.
Yeah.
Standing on.
But CJ and D'Amico, they got a great relationship. And D'Amico talked about CJ and that dog in him because he really was going to make sure that he got out there to practice.
CJ's a competitor. And last week, CJ, he was adamant about going out and practicing. It just shows the type of person that CJ is. But for me, as a head coach, it's important for me to just make sure we're protecting him, making sure we're doing what's best for CJ, and not really worried about the outside opinions or other people. Nobody knows the information about our players more than me. And so I'm going to make sure I always do what's in the best interest of our players, first and foremost with their health and wellness. That's always on the forefront of my mind. And so that's why the decision was made about CJ. I think you guys saw him out throwing today. I think he looked pretty fine to me.
Hey, Coach said it. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Is that why they pay him the big bucks? So he can know what they're doing. But the Houston Texans are a team that is going to get a lot of love, a lot of upside. We talked about C.J. Stroud and his ability to be in the MVP conversation. They went out and got them some weapons. Nico Collins has emerged as one of the top wide receivers in the game. He's definitely a leader on that football team. But C.J. knew that he had to change some things about himself and drop some weight.
Be more intentional about it. So have more fluidity in my hips, lose a couple pounds, run faster. And I got all those done. I think I PR'd on almost everything this offseason, which has been really dope, So, shout out to Mike Clint. Clint's been with me every day. And, he does a lot of – he had a track background, but, has bought in and done a lot of things with us as quarterbacks. So I'm very, very grateful that, we got these things done. But now it's ball time. And, this offseason will be, very important on getting back with my throwing regimen and with my guys in LA. So, I got those things done, and I'm grateful for it.
Wow.
Dedication, man.
I love it, man. That off-season training, getting yourself in peak physical condition to go out and perform at a high level, which is what you're supposed to do as a professional.
Right. That is what is expected of you in those particular moments. But you start to think about this team, and we talked a lot about the leadership. We've been talking leadership. You look at what happened in Cincinnati. We've seen how it can fail you. But you also have an opportunity to think about what's next. How do we get better? And I think they addressed a lot of those needs. You touched on those the other day in your take. But you also look at, okay, are the main characters practicing what they preach? Are the main people that are going to lead us making some lifestyle changes, doing some things differently? I saw a video of CJ throwing, and he looks sharp. The ball's coming out of his hands easily. You look at some of the new players. They got to get Higgins and Noel figured out what their role is going to be on this team. But then you go out and you get a Nick Chubb to complement what you have in Joe Mixon. And think about how hard Joe Mixon runs. And then you add in another rhinoceros to come through there with those big old quads trying to stop that in Nick Chubb.
And you know what competition does, right?
Yeah.
Competition
fuels each other.
Fuels the fire.
Yep.
Joe Mixon don't want Chubb to come in and be number one.
Right.
So he's on his thing. If he wasn't on that iPad studying, he is now.
Yeah.
If he wasn't really finishing drills and going through the playbook the way that he should, he is now. Like he's going to be locked in, and this is going to be one of the best running back tandems in the NFL.
I think the whole thing is they just want to pound you until, you know.
And they brought in all
it just clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over again. They're just not gonna want that.
And that's the Texans' offense next year.
Yeah, with this offensive line that they brought in, these guys are better adapt to run blocking.
Yeah.
And of course, you're going to have to be able to pass protect. But when you bring in three guys that were considered the best run blockers in the free agent market and one from the draft, you're ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So that's going to open up their passing.
Well, and the thing about it is the effectiveness of the passing game when it comes to C.J. Stroud. He doesn't always want to be looking deep down the field. He's more of a timing guy. And if he takes his shots down there. But if the problem was they weren't being able to get the ball out of his hand quick enough. And that's why I go back to it. Slovic was supposed to be
a genius.
The guy, the next in line of all those offensive quote unquote gurus that were out there. And it just fell off so bad that they had to make a change. And that was going to be the only question that I was going to have when it came to C.J. Stroud in this offense.
All for it?
I was all for whatever needed to be done. But my question was, if C.J. is hurt and he's not in camp, how is he learning the new offense and what this new offensive coordinator was trying to implement? That was going to be the only question that I was going to have, but there is no question. Obviously, he's been around. He's been fine. He's been doing everything that he needs to do. He just wasn't doing it for the cameras to see.
At?
What?
That you was all for Slavic being ousted, but the coach for the Knicks, Thibodeau.
They are not the same. They are not even close to being the same. Not even close. But I see where you're going with it. But try another one, bro. Try another one. Find something else. Find something else. Coming up next, we're going to continue the conversations with Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman. We'll talk Texas Longhorns, baseball, football, and, of course, now basketball started practice. And kind of like what Sean Miller is trying to build on the 40 acres. Right here on a Way Back Wednesday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
The stalled vehicle that has the left lane blocked off on the upper deck of I-35 northbound at 38.5 Street is in the final stages of clearing out of there and should be gone any minute. But we are very slow over on 183 northbound this morning. Plan for about a 25-minute out of your drive between Burleson Road up to Highway 71. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
Hey, it's JB and Sandy for our friends at Koala Cooling. Scott and Stacy, the same great people behind Kangaroo that I've been telling you about for a while. They are the same people that own Koala Cooling and Plumbing. They're great people to know, and they're really great to know if you've got AC problems.
When I do big decisions like this, I like to know the owners.
Yeah.
I've met Scott and Stacy, great people. You do not want to get caught with your pants down in Texas with a broken air conditioner. The way to prevent that, even if your AC is working fine right now, is to set up a service plan, have them come check it, and it may end up saving you a bunch of money. If you're unfortunately in the need of help right now, call them immediately to get you cooled off again, because it's only going to get worse in the next few months.
And don't forget about plumbing. If you've been putting off a repair for a leaky faucet or a clogged drain, Koala can help you out with that too. Contact them at koalacooling.com or call 512-759-8800.
What if you could unlock over $1 million in personal and business credit? That's exactly what Ray Reynolds can do for you. I'm talking about protecting your family and building your business with $100,000 in personal or business cash credit. And Ray can help you rebuild your credit score to 750. Ray Reynolds isn't just any expert. He helped the security chief of TRW that became Experian, one of the most trusted credit bureaus. If you're looking to get your finances on track, Ray is the man you should call for a 750 credit score. Call Ray at 800-427-5991. 800-427-5991. Join his live webinars and attend his weekly workshops to learn the insider strategies for hitting your personal and business goals. Ready for a 750 credit score and your first $100,000 in credit? Call Ray Reynolds now at 800-427-5991. That's 800-427-5991.
Craig Way here, and no matter who you listen to on the air and no matter which team you root for, we can all agree in recommending Dr. Greg Eckert as your dentist. Dr. Eckert has been serving the Austin area for 30 years now. He's been my dentist for more than a decade. Greg Eckert and his staff will show you what your situation is, and they'll tell you what they can do to help so that you can make the informed decision about your dental health care needs. Give Dr. Eckert a call today at 512-345-3166. They're open on Fridays if that works for you. 512-345-3166 for Dr. Greg Eckert.
The Big Three is back this Saturday, live on CBS. Fast-paced, physical, 3-on-3. Michael Beasley, Dwight Howard, Lance Stevenson, Jordan Crawford, Jason Richardson, Joe Johnson, Montrezl Harrell, and more. Live on CBS, 3 p.m. Eastern. Yay!
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1897. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1897. That's 800-575-1897. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons is attending the team's minicamp, but is expected to skip team drills this week without a new contract. The Astros are back home to start a series against the White Sox tonight. Right-hander Lance McCullers Jr. will take the ball for the AL West leaders. A report from the NCAA found social media abuse of student-athletes declined during March Madness, but increased among coaches. I'm Frank Garrity.
This is 11-year NBA veteran Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Thrivent. At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at thrivent.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. We cover all 40 acres.
It's that time, folks. It's that time for us to talk to our guy, Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman. You can follow him at _Danny Davis. And Danny, we'll talk Texas basketball in just a minute, but I have to go to Texas softball. Texas softball wins the national championship, their 8th try, and they finally get it done. And I know you don't cover the beat anymore, but you have covered Texas softball for a long, long time. And how sweet was it to watch those ladies go through what they did? Mia Scott becoming a legend, and I thought you posted no one should ever wear the number 10 in softball again.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me, I think if you're a longtime softball fan, which definitely there are a handful of those around campus, I mean, this is just kind of 30 years of, near misses, long waits. You saw Kat Ashman never win one. You saw Janae Jefferson never win one. You saw some Texas teams get pretty close. Blair Luna never win one, and just not be able to close it. And finally, this team, it may not have been the most talented Texas team that they've sent to Oklahoma City. I was definitely kind of surprised that they went on this run, but this is the right mixture of timely hits, pitching, and they got it done. And obviously, Mia Scott just had a postseason to remember, all-time leader in runs, all-time leader in RBIs over at Texas, and just kind of following that number 10. If you look at Vince, obviously it's retired over with baseball too. It'll probably eventually be retired with the soccer program because of what Lexi did for that soccer team. And I think softball, I know Texas has these standards, and maybe Mia doesn't meet those because she was never National Player of the Year, but what she meant for that team leadership-wise and defensive-wise and offensive-wise, I think it'd be hard-pressed if anyone does wear that number 10 again. Good luck to you, because that's big footsteps to follow.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, to watch her and the calmness, we had Coach Mike White on yesterday, and we were talking about how calm she always looked no matter the situation, how quick and reactive she was on those balls that were hit towards her and made it look so easy, all with a torn ACL. No ACL, and still being able to play and move laterally is something that should never, ever be forgotten here on the 40 acres.
No doubt. I mean, obviously, the ACL story, I would have loved it if Mia talked a little bit more, so we could get a little bit more context on that injury and kind of what she was going through, and kind of what she had to overcome on that knee, and get a little bit more clarity on that. But obviously, this her legend, it's going to be hard to surpass that. That's the standard now. Obviously, what Tegan did in the circle, it's not quite Cat yet, but that's definitely a 1B as far as what you want from a Texas pitcher. But I think definitely Mia's kind of set the standard for Texas position players, and the ACL story just kind of adds to that and adds to her legend, and that's something that no one is ever going to be able to take away from her. And all the best to her as she kind of goes forward and moves on to this next stage in her life, since she says she's not going to play professionally anymore. So we'll kind of see what's up next with her. But obviously, what a way to go out. You can't really do much better than how she went out.
No doubt about it. We're talking Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman. You can follow him at _Danny Davis. And Danny, obviously football is on the minds of so many people. We've talked about Arch Manning ad nauseum, but Texas has done some all across America, baby, all across America. But I wanted to ask you your thoughts on who do you see that could possibly make a bigger impact this year from what they did last year on this Texas football team?
I mean, since we just talked about it, we might as well talk about Mr. Mia Scott. I mean, CJ Baxter coming off his knee injury last season. Obviously, this run game is going to be a big question with Jaden Blue no longer there. But you have Contravian Wisner, you have Jarrett Gibson. Trey had a great season last year, kind of first on the scene, and Jarrett, he kind of comes out that freshman year. But CJ Baxter was the guy we expected to be kind of the lead rusher last year before he got hurt. So, how does he look? How does he fit in with this offense? You have this three-headed monster. Maybe there's another couple guys who step in with Christian Clark, coming off his injury, or some of these freshmen. So I'm really curious about what CJ does coming back from his injury, and then obviously you're going to have questions in that receiver room with all those guys no longer there. Matthew Golden, Gunnar Helm, Isaiah Bond. There's Ryan Wingo make a huge step. What does DeAndre Moore do since he kind of had a limited spring coming back as his after a pretty decent year last year, kind of stepping in as a starter and finding his role. So there's definite offensive questions that this team has. We only talked about the offensive line, but CJ Baxter is my big question going into the season.
Danny, in your professional opinion, with CJ Baxter actually being healthy this year, a lot of people said that Quatavian Wisner is better suited for Coach Sark's system. What's your opinion on that?
I don't know if anyone's better suited. I mean, these are both guys that Steve recruited to be in his system, so I think they're both suited just fine to be Texas running backs. I think both are talented. CJ obviously came here with more accolades and showed a lot during his freshman year. Trey had his breakout campaign last year. I think Steve is smart enough to figure out a way to incorporate both those guys into the offense and figure out ways to use both of them. Obviously, they used Quintravian and Jaden. Figured out a way to use both of them last year. I think they combined for about 2,000 rushing yards. So I think they're going to find a way to make CJ and Quintravian coexist. It's a matter of maybe who's getting more touches. But I think both running backs, since they were both recruited to Texas by Steve, are both Steve Sarkisian running backs.
Danny, we go to the hardwood, and Texas men's basketball has started their practices. There's some videos out. All the transfers obviously are in, and some of the retaining players have been able to get started. And then they made the announcement that Texas will play Duke November the 4th at the Dickie V tournament. What is your thoughts on this Texas basketball team?
Well, as you know, Hardge, I cover the basketball team over there that wins, so I don't really know much about the men's basketball program. But obviously, coming in with Sean Miller, I think there's going to be a lot of expectations coming in this season. He obviously comes with a pretty big resume, and obviously there's a little bit of disappointment with the way that the Rodney Terry era ended. But Sean's a good coach. I think they'll probably get some things turned around, and we'll have to see. They're losing a huge piece that we're going to hear Trey's name called in the NBA draft in a couple of days. But I think this men's basketball program will probably get going in the right direction with Sean in charge.
Let me ask you this before we let you go. They continue to recruit well over on the 40 acres by Vic Schaefer. A lot of hype around this basketball team. Madison Booker is playing on the Junior Olympic team. What are your expectations for the women?
The expectations now are Final Four. I mean, they finally got over that Elite Eight hump last year. Ran into a very good South Carolina team that kind of had their number throughout the season, but the standard now is Final Four, and they're going to have. This is not a shoo-in. They have some big holes they need to fill. Shea Hawley, everything she meant to that program. Taylor Jones, some of the transfers. I think losing Jakalenga to Vanderbilt is a huge loss, and they're going to have to fill some holes, but. You have a Madison Booker, you have a Rory Harmon, you have your foundational pieces, you work your way around it. But the standard now is Final Four. And I think anything less than that, both from a fan perspective or a media perspective or inside that building, probably is going to be a disappointment. So the standard is now Final Four. See if they can go on a title run and win that elusive state champ or national championship, because it's going to be the 40-year anniversary of their last one in '86. So we'll see if they can get that done.
There he is, Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman. You can follow him at _Danny Davis. We'll talk to you next week, bud.
Yeah.
All right, there he is, Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman. When we come back, we're going to talk Texas baseball. They got some All-Americans and some All-Regions, and we'll bring it up right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
A Craig Way Show with Craig Way.
Tex Schramm, you'd hear him on with Brad Sham when we had the show and I was the producer for it, called Ask Tex Schramm. This was like 1987. The football Cardinals were moving to Arizona. Brad Sham is doing the show. And so he asked him, he said, well, does that mean also now there'll be a change that the Atlanta Falcons would move from the NFC West to the NFC East? The Texas response was, well, once you're on an airplane, what difference does it make?
Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
The stalled vehicle that has the left lane blocked off on the upper deck of I-35 northbound at 38.5 Street is in the final stages of clearing out there and should be gone any minute. But we are very slow over on 183 northbound this morning. Plan for about a 25-minute out of your drive between Burleson Road up to Highway 71. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. This Father's Day at Lowe's, score free gifts for the greatest dad, like a free Blackstone 8-piece accessory kit when you buy a Blackstone 28-inch griddle. Shop these deals and more this Father's Day at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hey, it's Hardball Hardge, and I'm just going to say it. My license plate is cooler than yours.
That's facts. And this is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, king of strongman fame, and now the king of custom plates.
You ever see a license plate that's so clean, it makes you do a double take?
Like mine says USA WSM. Yours says XJ7BP3. What is that, password?
That's why you roll up to myplates.com. Texas-made, full customized license plates that let you show off your style, your ride, and your swagger.
You can pick the color, the design, almost anything you want to say as long as it's legal. And it's not something your grandmother would say, hey, I'm going to have to wash your mouth out with soap.
So don't drive around with a blowing plate that says, I gave up. Go to myplates.com, use the promo code The Zone, all one word, The Zone, and get up to $55 in savings. MyPlates.com. Don't be bored.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
The check is good, the experience is smooth, and the reviews online are wonderful at GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey, Tinsley, why don't we use EasyCater to order food for staff lunches?
Because my 46-page acronym system is so easy. I just have to salad, stay alert to late arriving deliveries, pie, put in expenses, and Google Pie. Go out and get everyone's preferences and allergy information.
That's supposed to be simple?
No, simple is Steve and Irma and Margie prefer lasagna and empanadas.
OMG.
No need to make work life more complicated. Just use EasyCater, the easy way to get food for work.
Watching Clorox cleanup spray dissolve tough grime in the shower feels like...
Wait, this really just happened? I'm shocked. Underwear and everything?
It feels like being able to zip up your overpacked suitcase on the first try.
Smooth.
With Clorox, clean feels satisfying. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Big news for drivers. Presets have landed on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with iHeartRadio. Access your favorite stations, podcasts, and playlists instantly right from your dashboard. Try the free iHeartRadio app on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and take those presets for a spin.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Your home for the Texas Longhorns.
Great stuff by our guy, Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman. As I said, you can follow him at _Danny Davis. Coming up at 8:17. You do not want to miss our interview with Chris Hummer of 24/7 Sports. He covers the transfer portal, college football as a whole, the whole kit and caboodle, and we'll talk about the House settlement and what it exactly means. But right now, we're going to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest October the 25th at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater. All you got to do is get over to that iHeartRadio app, you know, the one that you're already listening to us on. Tap that red microphone and leave the word SHRED. SHRED is the word of the day for you to get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest at the Germania Amphitheater. That's right. Get a chance to go do that as well. I want to talk Texas baseball because Texas baseball and the accolades continue to roll in for Texas baseball as they land four guys on the Rawlings All-American and All-Regional teams. And Rylan Galvan and Dylan Volantis, Ethan Mendoza, and Luke Harrison all earned the all-region accolades by the American Baseball Coaches Association that was named on Monday. Also, you know, Dylan Volantis was named Freshman Pitcher of the Year, and Adrian Rodriguez and Adrian Rodriguez and Dylan Volantis headlined the Perfect Game Freshman All-Americans. I've been really, really big on A-Rod, Adrian Rodriguez. A lot was not expected from him, but he ends up coming in and being the force that the team needed. I wish that he wouldn't have gotten hurt because his numbers would have been even better because of the talent that he has. Ethan Mendoza coming in from Arizona State and him taking over the top of that lineup and being the catalyst for this team. And then Luke Harrison being the steady vet that he was, being able to come back and be that solid number 2 for him to be able to earn that all-region honor. I know that means something a lot to him. And Rylan Galvan, he's expected to be drafted pretty high, I would say 5th through 8th, 9th round. His numbers were outstanding. He led the team in 7 offensive categories. He had 15 home runs, which was the most of a Texas catcher since Chris Abbey in 1992. And he is up for the Buster Posey Catcher of the Year award. He is one of 3 finalists. So this team has done some amazing things. And the good part about it is you're going to get a lot of these guys back. You're going to get A-Rod back. You're going to get Dylan Volantis. Dylan may be a starter next year. I remember Coach mentioning that to us, but he did so well coming out of the bullpen. Ethan Mendoza, he is going to be at the top of that lineup as a leader. Hopefully he gets his shoulder figured out and he'll be ready to go. So the only question we will have is what's going to happen with Galvan, what's going to happen with Flores, and a couple of those other guys. But all in all, this team is in a very, very good spot.
It's always good to have some depth, but, you know, there's nothing like having guys that you develop. And that was something even Coach Mike White was saying yesterday is they recruited really well, so they want to make sure that those people get a chance to be developed and get to play. But you got to find that happy medium and maybe reach into the portal and get one or two pieces that can complete your team.
Well, the biggest part for Texas is going to be those high school kids that they have recruited. Those high school kids are top of the line, first round picks, second round picks that are waiting for the major league draft to happen. And then you will know. With them moving the draft back, it kind of makes things a little bit tough when you're trying to go into the transfer portal. You're trying to balance your books. We're going to talk to Chris Hummer at 8:17, and this goes into the settlement, but this also goes into what the schools are going to be able to pay for some of these kids to come in as far as scholarships.
So you look at teams like Mississippi State, they can pay, but somebody like Texas State, where are they going to get $20 million?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the biggest difference. It's the group of five and the power five. You know what I'm saying? When you're covering the G5s, their money is going to be a little bit different than what these big schools. But you also got to look at, what is your moneymaker for the school? If the baseball program or basketball program is the moneymaker, then you want to make sure that you got good basketball players. You're going to make sure you got good baseball players. I mean, baseball I'm not going to say a non-revenue generating sport, because if you look at it, the numbers tell you differently. Just like softball. Softball, they deserve more money too. I mean, they deserve renovations. They deserve to have certain things, especially now. Texas is a national champion. They treat you a little bit different when you got
that title.
When you got the belt around, they treat you different. So you start to look at the programs here on the 40 acres and what the expectations and the ability to take care of all of those people. It's a big ask. And now we get to see what's going to happen next. So I'm excited for it all. I'm excited for this baseball team. I know Coach Schlossnagel, and you talked about it, Coach White went on the road last night to start recruiting, to try to get ahead of not only next year's recruiting class, but the class of 27. You got to make sure that you're continuing to recruit to make sure that you kind of lock up some of those important players as you move forward. Hour number 1 is in the books. Coming up in hour number 2, we talk Dallas Cowboys just around the corner. Some good news, and Micah Parsons showed up to camp, and so did Mark's favorite player. We have Chris Hummer at 8:17, World's Strongest Take, and, of course, our final segment as we'll preview the NBA. You do not want to miss hour number 2 right here on a way back Wednesday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300. The Zone.
Hey, it's JB and Sandy for our friends at Koala Cooling. Scott and Stacy, the same great people behind Kangaroo that I've been telling you about for a while. They are the same people that own Koala Cooling and Plumbing. They're great people to know, and they're really great to know if you've got AC problems.
When I do big decisions like this, I like to know the owners.
Yeah.
I've met Scott and Stacy, great people. You do not want to get caught with your pants down in Texas with a broken air conditioner. The way to prevent that, even if your AC is working fine right now, is to set up a service plan, have them come check it, and it may end up saving you a bunch of money. If you're unfortunately in the need of help right now, call them immediately to get you cooled off again, because it's only going to get worse in the next few months.
And don't forget about plumbing. If you've been putting off a repair for a leaky faucet or a clogged drain, Koala can help you out with that too. Contact them at koalacooling.com or call 512-759-8800. Hey, it's Sandy, and I was talking to Jeff over at Apple Leasing the other day. He told me something pretty interesting. He said, you know what the typical response of our customers is after they get their brand new under warranty car? I said, what's that? He said, they always say, what's the catch? It was too easy. He said they hear it all the time. And, Apple Leasing's been doing this for over 40 years in Austin, and they have always been committed to offering world-class service and saving their clients money with the best-in-class Easy Lease. You don't have to put any money down and save up to 50% monthly on terms that match your trade cycle. You can check out thousands of perfect reviews on DealerRater, Google, and Facebook. Call 346-9977 and let the nation's leasing leader go to work for you. Call them today, 346-9977. That's 346-9977. And of course, you can visit them online as well at appleleasing.com. Find out how easy it is at Apple Leasing.
Oh, tasty high note. Oh, hi, don't mind me. I'm practicing my new baritone sax. I just heard PayPal's paying for people's stuff every day for 100 days, and there's 10 million up for grabs. All you have to do is use PayPal checkout online. So there's never been a better time to buy a few things off the old wish list, like this leaf blower. PayPal can pay for your purchase. The Great PayPal Checkout.
No purchase necessary ends July 18th. See official rules at paypal.com/thegreatpaypalcheckout/terms. Participating merchants only must use PayPal checkout online. Coverage of up to $100 and eligible purchases per card.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Meta AI is the personal AI that's tailored to you. Now with its very own app. It's built to get to know you, offering helpful answers and inspiration. If you're looking for something to add to your bucket list, Meta AI goes beyond traveling the world. It remembers you're a basketball fan and suggests you attend one of the playoff games. Just start typing or speaking to get the answers you need, wherever, whenever, because Meta AI is your personal AI. Download and try the app today. Now available on the Apple App Store or Google Play.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horde. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Hordes, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to a way back Wednesday edition of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Mike Hardball Hardge, world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, the Mark Henry.
That's right.
And of course, our guy Marcus on the boards. In hour number 1, we talked about Aaron Rodgers is in camp. He's married and ready to roll. He's married to the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. So we'll see how that turns out. We also talked about the Houston Texans and the expectations have gone through the roof. CJ Stroud is fine, and they made a lot of changes. We talked to Danny Davis about the Texas football team, softball team, and, of course, we talked baseball. But right now, we're going to talk Dallas Cowboys. But coming up at 8:17, we'll talk to Chris Hummer of 24/7 Sports. The Dallas Cowboys also are in camp. They got a new coach. They brought in a backup quarterback named Joe Milton, but they brought in a top wide receiver named Pickens, George Pickens to be exact. And now the Cowboys are excited about everything. But here's the change. And, of course, the conversation is always going to be about Micah Parsons. Is he going to sign his contract? How is things going? What else is going to be happening? But the question was, will Micah show up for camp? And Brian Schottenheimer, he's going to be known as Shotty moving forward, talked about Parsons and Mark's favorite player, Diggs, showing up to camp.
Is Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs in attendance today?
Yes, they are. It's great to see them both.
Will Mr. Parsons be working out today?
He'll be out on the field doing some stuff. Yep. It's actually great. Trayvon got here early. It's great to see him. He's one of the first guys I saw, and he got his rehab stuff in with Britt. So both guys were excited to be here.
Glad to have it. You know, he wasn't foregoing all that money, man. Everybody was thinking, listen, they know exactly what they're doing. They're not giving up money if they're trying to get money. You know what I'm talking about?
Right, right.
I'm not finna give you a reason to not pay me by not showing up for practice.
Hey, $500,000.
Yes.
Cha-ching! Hand that over.
Well, his phone, he was out there with his,
Oh, it cleared.
Something was just deposited in my account.
It cleared.
Yeah, that's how that went down. But it was good that they got there and got a chance to be back on. But he said, Micah Parsons, is he going to be working out? Oh, he'll be on the field doing things. Well, what he was doing yesterday was talking to Jerry Jones for most of the practice. It seemed to be a good conversation. Micah didn't look like he was saying much, but Jerry was doing all the talking. And remember, Jerry is doing everything he possibly can to get this deal done without David Muguleta. Let me tell you something. David is going to get his player his money. We've seen it throughout time.
He don't play.
He don't play about his players and their bread. So you can try to pretend like you're going to try to get a deal done with Micah, and Micah sitting there saying, nodding and doing everything he needs to. That's what he's supposed to do.
Is it just David that he has a problem with, or all agents?
I think it's all agents, and it just so happened that Micah is the guy right now. But, I mean, he's worked with them before. He's had to. This ain't the first contract conversation that they've had before. So you start to look at the progress and everything that's going on. But what you really have to understand is the relationship that Brian Schottenheimer, Shotty, has been forging with Micah Parsons and how important the relationship building process has been for Micah.
Since, he got hired, I've been very impressed with just how he's been building a relationship with me. I would say it's different because, especially when you got an offensive coach, they don't tend to want to reach out and check in on the daily or the monthly to see how's your training going, asking where you going, calling you on your birthday. It's kind of more exit meeting, intro meetings, what they expect out of you, how happy they're here for you. Like I said, just been constantly, since he's been hired, reaching out with me, building that relationship with me, going above and beyond, inviting my family places, showing up to, my events, things like that. So kudos to him. That's something that I don't think is an easy do because you don't know how certain people would accept it. But I think he's accepted his role pretty well, and I think he has everyone excited around him.
Wow. Man, how do you not like the dude? I'm telling you, this is the most optimistic and hopeful I felt about a coach since Parcells.
I knew this was happening. I knew it. Once you started listening. Are you coming back? Are you coming back?
I said we yesterday. Shot is, he either got me fooled or he's actually doing the right thing.
Bro, he had the quarterbacks learn the Greek dance. He had them go out and do a Greek dance. But the best part, and this is going to take you over the top, Mark. This is going to bring you all the way back
hold
in.
on a second.
Gooch, I hope you listening.
Let me swallow my tea because I don't want to spit my tea out.
I want you to hear.
I'm listening. I got my hand on my head.
This trend that is going around where fellas call each other and say goodnight and see what the reaction is going to be. Wait until you hear Micah Parsons call Shotty and tell him goodnight.
What up, buddy?
What up, Coach?
What you doing, man? You all right?
Yeah, I just wanted to say goodnight.
Okay. I love that, bro. What's going on? Y'all good?
Hell yeah. I just feel like, as player to coach, just checking in on you, mental, say goodnight, hope fans well, see you Monday, excited about next week. Just a good night.
Well, good, man. Hey, look, I know this is weird for everybody, man, but look, you're handling everything the right way, bro. And this thing's going to get worked out. And, again, I'm thrilled to see where we take this thing, man. We're building something special, and you're going to be a huge part of it, bro.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, Shotty. Take a shotty from me when you get a chance, man.
Hey, I'm drinking a shotty right now, man. Get ready to hit it and turn it for the night, brother.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I appreciate the call, man, for real. And I look forward to seeing you Monday, and it's going to be a great week.
Hell yeah.
I hope on that. Oh man!
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
If any of my friends are thinking about calling me and saying good night, please, guys, don't do it. Don't do it. Because my eyes start getting very heavy about 10 o'clock. And if you call me at 10:15, 10:20, I'm gonna have a problem with your good night call.
So,
and on top of that, text me and say good night.
Hey, well,
maybe I'll read that.
You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to.
Hardge, if Marcus called you tonight at like 10:30,
well, first off, I know something wrong.
You're gonna be like, "Hey, you gonna be at work tomorrow? You good?"
But what is the message that you just heard there? He was excited.
He was.
Hey, what you call? Hey, you good? Everything good? He was checking on him. He was trying to do a prank.
And it backfired.
Yes. He was
it turned into a love fest. That's good though, man.
Right.
That's very good. I'm gonna sip my tea right now because I'm feeling real warm on the outside, and now I need to feel warm on the inside.
You are now calling back in to the love fest of the Cowboys. Just like he played. Just like he played.
Prank Jerry Jones.
No, there wouldn't be a prank. We don't need to prank him. We need to make sure that he get that check to Michael Parsons. That's what you need. You originally was trying to trade Micah. You wanted him gone. Go get some draft picks. You got a coach that is trying to lead this team. You got players that are buying into
Don't try to make me have to be the bad guy because I can understand what a salary cap look like and what's going to work and what's not going to work.
You just gave us a whole dissertation at 7 o'clock about how each year they get more money.
Yeah.
The salary cap going to change every single year. So factor that in.
Jerry is not the Bengals, but Jerry likes to make a scene.
Bro.
And I don't like it.
Is sign these players early. What is the winning recipe in Philadelphia?
But it'll be quiet if you sign them.
Sometimes it's
okay. Jerry Jones wants noise.
He can't even hear.
That's why. Maybe that's why he wants noise. Like turn it up.
Turn it up. My main thing is you have to be able to understand, as you said, the salary cap. Philadelphia is the poster child of understanding.
Yeah, they do.
When you have the talent, lock it up early. That's exactly what the Atlanta Braves are doing in baseball. They're locking up their talent early. The Boston Red Sox have now tried to lock up their talent early.
Heck, you can go back in basketball. The Golden State Warriors, before that big money deal with TV deal popped in, they were signing Clay and Steph early.
Yes, Draymond. I mean, there's a game plan that is out there. Jerry, you're still gonna make your money because the fans aren't going anywhere.
He almost lost us last season.
Well, he almost lost us with the shoddy hire.
Yeah,
but now players are buying into what he is wanting to believe in.
You're seeing now why he hired Shoddy.
Well, we ain't played no games yet.
Right. No games have been played.
No games.
I like
you can
his
see
phone calls.
You can see Shoddy can talk you into some stuff.
Oh,
though.
Yeah, he is. He's
a smooth guy.
He's smooth, man. He got me over here like having feelings and stuff. Like, man, Cowboys gonna win 10, 12 games. I'm gonna have to go back and redo our list for the Cowboys wins, Hard.
I cannot wait. That is hilarious. Coming up next, we're gonna talk NCAA settlement and get a little bit of information from our guy.
I got questions.
Chris Hummer of 24/7 Sports right now on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Texas softball is heating up. Catch every pitch.
Soaring fly ball center field. Back goes Dill with a warning track to the wall. It's gone. Jolie Mitchell for the second game in a row. A round tripper and the Longhorns up 4-1 here in the 7th inning.
As the Horns take on the SEC, search Retro Austin on the free iHeartRadio app and listen to Texas softball all season long.
Capital One cardholders can score their iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets starting today at 1 p.m. Eastern. Tickets are only available while pre-sale tickets last or until Friday, June 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And that's not all. Add a Capital One Access Pass to your pre-sale purchase to attend an exclusive pre-concert event with a private performance from LL Cool J on Friday or Jelly Roll on Saturday. Only available during the cardholder pre-sale.
Pre-sale tickets are limited and will go fast. So visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One to buy today.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, streaming live only on Hulu.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
Looking at the drive on I-35 northbound this morning, seeing some congestion and some stop-and-go speeds from Onion Creek Parkway over to William Cannon Drive. If you're heading this direction, plan for 10 minutes to be added to your morning commute. There's also a crash on Burleson Road at the corner of McKinney Falls Parkway and an accident on 1st Street at FM 1626. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. This Father's Day at Lowe's, score free gifts for the greatest dad, like a free Blackstone 8-piece accessory kit when you buy a Blackstone 28-inch griddle. Shop these deals and more this Father's Day at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Summertime is officially here, y'all. Time for those road trips, lake days, and family adventures. And your neighbors at Cover Ford Hutto, well, they've got you covered. Take $16,850 off MSRP on a new 2024 Ford Expedition Timberline and $14,279 off MSRP on a new 2025 Ford F-150 Platinum. Big adventures start at Cover Ford Hutto. CoverFordHutto.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
If you played pickleball in regular sneakers, you know you can pay the price. They don't cut it. And Todd found this out the hard way. We have this great sponsor, Tyrell. They make the best pickleball shoes. So one day Todd is playing pickleball and he forgot his Tyrell pickleball shoes. Well, you know what happened? He got hurt. He was playing in some fancy different shoes that aren't meant for pickleball, and he learned a lesson. Tyrell has everything you need to keep your feet cool. They're tough. They're lightweight. They're so solid on your feet, and you're going to wear and tear on the court, and they're ready to go. Every detail is built to help you play better. Tyrell pickleball shoes. If you want to play longer, feel better, and stop sliding around in those old sneakers, go to TyrellPickleball.com. You can look like a pro. You can play like a pro. It's Tyrell pickleball shoes. You spell it Tyrol. Tyrell pickleball shoes, the best pickleball shoes, purpose-built for pickleball.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hardworking, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Friends, if you live in Austin, Cedar Park, Kyle, Pflugerville, or Round Rock, and you're tired of paying too much for car insurance, pick up the phone and call Fred Loya Insurance today. Insurance rates are constantly changing, which is why you need to call Fred Loya Insurance right now for a new and updated quote. Call now. Save money. It's that easy. Call Fred Loya Insurance at 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040 or visit fredloya.com. Remember, if you don't call, you don't save.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. The Longhorns live here.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. Mike Hardball, and of course Marcus. We are efforting Chris Hummer to get him on. You know, when you don't have recognizable numbers, sometimes people don't want to answer. But
I got spam blocker.
Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do. I mean, you're a lot more popular than everybody else.
Hey, go get that spam blocker app.
So, you know, got to make sure that you know the numbers when people are calling. So we're trying to make that happen. And joining us on the hotline is our guy, Chris Hummer of 24/7 Sports. You can follow him at Chris_Hummer. And Chris, let's get right into it. First off, good to talk to you again, my friend. It's been a minute. Glad you can get back on with us. But let's get right into the conversation about the House settlement. $2.8 billion in back damages going for players from 2016 to 2024. And then, of course, you got the revenue sharing that is going on. But how did we get here?
A lot of billing hours in the courts. Yeah, I mean, we got here by, I mean, you could look at it a bunch of ways, but I think ultimately we got here because a lot of members of the NCAA, and again, I want to stress the NCAA isn't just this like big, bad, like corporate organization in Indianapolis. Like the NCAA is the schools, right? Like it is the schools, it's chancellors, it's presidents. And it was the NCAA sticking its head in the sand for years and years and years and refusing to change, make reasonable change to pay your labor, essentially. And then what happened was the labor got upset and it went to court, and the NCAA has lost a series of challenges in court. The NCAA has had states make laws that counteract their rules, and those two things working in conjunction have led to a place where the NCAA has to settle a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit to avoid essentially having its business model fall apart. And that's where we are now. And moving forward, college athletics is going to look a lot different.
So essentially, the NCAA is they're going to go broke if they don't do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, because I think instead of, I mean, and the NCAA president, Charlie Baker, said something like this recently. Instead of paying a $2.8 billion settlement over a 10-year period, like the NCAA may have had to pay a $8 billion settlement in 1 lump sum, and that's just not a cost they can avoid had they actually had to fight this in court as opposed to settling out of court like they did. So yes, this was a matter of survival in a lot of ways for college athletics.
So in football, you have 105 players on the team, and does this essentially say that all 105 players are going to get something?
Not necessarily. So previously you could have 125 players. A lot of those, the 40 were walk-ons, basically 85 to 125. Now 105 players can be on scholarship, but a lot of schools are staying at 85, at least for this year. The SEC specifically is keeping people at 85 for this cycle. But I think moving forward, those last 20 guys on your roster will begin to get scholarships. I think it's just the way we're headed. They might not be full scholarships. You're allowed to give partial scholarships under this model if you choose to. But I do imagine they'll all be getting something. And in this era too, like even like your decent walk-ons are getting a small percentage in NIL as well. Like as a reason to be on the roster, because you're not getting scholarships like to the school, obviously. So yeah, a lot of guys will be getting something.
Yeah, that's the interesting, excuse me, that's the interesting part. And we're talking to Chris Hummer of 24/7 Sports. All you got to do is follow him at Chris_Hummer. And Chris, as we sit here today, you're talking about scholarships and all the things that go into it, but there's more that is going on. You have to get, if you decide that there's going to be money that is going to be given by a third party of more than $600, you have to go through the clearinghouse again. How is that going to change athletics as well?
It'll be a significant change depending on the teeth that enforcement mechanism has. Right now, NIL deals are basically just salary, right? Like they're very, like I would say 5% of college athletes have true NIL, where you're going out using your NIL to represent a brand and they're paying you for your marketability. Like Arch Manning with Red Bull, for example, that's true NIL. Like that's going to pass through NIL, go no problem, because they are seeking out Arch Manning because of his marketability. What'll be interesting to see is what happens with kind of those leftover dollars. A lot of schools weren't spending $14 to $15 million in football a year. They were well below that. Now they'll have that money from rev share, but a school like Texas was way above that number in the first place. So it's a matter of how Texas makes up that money with true NIL. And that has to go through the clearinghouse. Like those deals can't come from boosters. You can't get a new F-150 for showing up at a dealership once and taking a picture anymore, at least by the letter of the law. So that'll be interesting with the clearinghouse. One, like how often they deny deals, and then two, what happens if they do, because a school and a player don't necessarily have to listen to that, but if they don't, they risk their eligibility.
Wow. So this thing has kind of changed dramatically. And the other part that I wanted to ask you about too is, does this open up the fact of possibly players being signed to contracts? And now if you decide that the transfer portal, which is always popping, and you're getting paid X amount of dollars, do you have to pay that money back? Is it something that is part of your contract? How is all these stipulations going to be worked out moving forward?
Well, we already have contracts in college athletics, sometimes multi-year contracts, and a lot of them have, buyout clauses, I will say. Like a lot of them stipulate that if you leave after a certain time, you have to pay a certain percentage of your NIL dollars back. They're just not always enforceable, right? Like in the way we think about enforceability. Like in the NFL, if you cut a player early, right, like they have a certain percentage of guaranteed money they get. In college athletics, it's hard to enforce that on both sides because athletes aren't technically employees. Like we saw this in the case of Xavier Lucas, who was a starter this year for Wisconsin. He signed a new NIL deal with the school after his freshman year, like in early December. But in early January, he decided he wanted to transfer from Wisconsin to Miami. Wisconsin wouldn't let him out of his NIL contract. And then Xavier Lucas just transferred anyway without entering the portal through a loophole that's out there. So it's not always enforceable, and it's kind of a gray area, given that, again, like these contracts aren't being collectively bargained and these athletes aren't employees.
What about the rights to your likeness, the 2-year spot? Like if you sign, that school maintains your 2-year rights.
Yeah, I think that also comes with the contract, and like the specifics there get worked out if you leave. But I think schools are trying to be as creative as possible to get guys to stay as long as possible in that regard, and trying to make transferring less likely with the way they structure the contracts. But I don't know of a single example where a school kept a player's likeness after he decided to leave and broke his contract. I don't know everything. Like, as my wife would say, I know very little at all outside of this. But I don't know of any examples where that's the case exactly.
Yeah, this game has changed so much, which obviously we've been working towards this, to your point. That's how we got here. Lots of lawyer billing hours to get this thing done. But what's next? You know, we've talked about the transfer portal ad nauseum. There's so much that goes into that. Players are getting into this thing every single day. Do we see a decrease or we see an increase moving forward?
I think, I mean, we might see a slight decrease, but I don't think it has anything to do with the rev share elements of this. I think it has more to do with the fact that there are very few players left now with COVID years. So it's just like there's one less classification of athletes who can transfer. So we might see a slight decrease with that, but no, I don't really anticipate a huge decrease across the board. You might see fewer good players leave, right? Because like schools are going to pay to keep their best players on the roster. And we saw a lot of that this year in the transfer portal. There were a lot of players who left, but very few all conference players from the P4 level transferred. I actually think only like one first team all conference player on the Power 4 level transferred the entire off season. So that just goes to show you schools pay to keep their guys. But like when you're talking about guys from the G5, from the FCS, like they're going to move no matter what. Like there's just too much money to be made at the P4 level. So that movement, as long as the transfer rules stay where they are, is going to continue to happen.
Man, it is so crazy when you think about where we are and how we got here.
The conversation we're having right now.
But you know what? It ain't going nowhere. So now it's just hold on, people. Wild West, the have and the have-nots. As always, Hummer, we appreciate you getting up to take the time, and we'll continue these conversations a little bit later in this offseason. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
No problem. Man, coming up next, we've got the world's strongest man giving you his world's strongest take right here on a Way Back Wednesday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
There's an accident at the corner of Burleson Road and McKinney Falls Parkway. Lots of stop-and-go traffic for drivers on 183 northbound, over half an hour of some slow speeds from D. Gabriel Collins Road over to Highway 71. There's also a stalled vehicle on Ed Bluestein Boulevard northbound, blocking off the left lane after 51st. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, it's JB and Sandy for our friends at Koala Cooling. Scott and Stacy, you know, the same great people behind Kangaroo that I've been telling you about for a while. They are the same people that own Koala Cooling and Plumbing. They're great people to know, and they're really great to know if you've got AC problems.
When I do big decisions like this, I like to know the owners.
Yeah.
I've met Scott and Stacy, great people. You do not want to get caught with your pants down in Texas with a broken air conditioner. The way to prevent that, even if your AC is working fine right now, is to set up a service plan, have them come check it, and it may end up saving you a bunch of money. If you're unfortunately in the need of help right now, call them immediately to get you cooled off again, because it's only going to get worse in the next few months.
And don't forget about plumbing. If you've been putting off a repair for a leaky faucet or a clogged drain, Koala can help you out with that too. Contact them at koalacooling.com or call 512-759-8800.
agree on is the exact price you'll pay.
I was at a Chevy dealer recently, found the car I wanted.
At Henna Chevrolet or Henna.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather. Thunderstorms likely for your Wednesday. Some could be severe, a high near 80. Scattered thunderstorms this evening becoming more widespread overnight, a low of 70. Thursday, morning showers and storms, a high of 88.
This report is sponsored by Bosch. With the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer, you can conquer your construction needs, and you can powerfully break through concrete. Get the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations waiting for you to explore right now, like iHeart Comedy, clips from today's top comedians.
I didn't learn about countries in school. I learned about Tennessee. I learned about the states that touched us in case they attacked.
And the greatest of all time.
They don't even tell me how to get to Sesame Street. Who would want to live in a neighborhood like that? 6-foot pigeons walking around.
Try something different. iHeart Comedy.
Women are gatherers. We like to gather information about you, and then we hunt you.
Open the app and make iHeart Comedy a preset now.
It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
You heard that beat drop, and that can only mean one thing. WWE Hall of Fame. It, the world's strongest man. The Mark Henry brings you his world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella. All right, what's on there? What's up? It's time for the world's strongest man by the world's strongest man. Marcus, back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They're all on me. I made this statement, and I'm going to say it with my chest. I feel like whoever won the East last year in the Super Bowl was going to win the Super Bowl, whether it was the Eagles or it was the Rams. Either one would have beat Kansas City. And I'm standing on that. In that statement being said, Devontae Adams, you know, one of the top receivers in the NFL, played with Aaron Rodgers, then went to Las Vegas, had a horrible record, but he played well. He was not the problem in Las Vegas. But Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets and is recruited by Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, of course, always had the power to be able to bring his guys around him. Devontae Adams is now with the Los Angeles Rams, a functional, organized, well-tuned franchise that has a history of what? Winning. And is an upgrade from Cooper Kupp. I know Cooper Kupp was a all-star, the best receiver in the league at one time. But that's the operative term, at one time. Devontae Adams is still in his
excuse me, in his prime, and will be not only a receiver that can play either side or the slot, he's playing opposite Puka Nacua. He's not going to always draw the double team. Maybe for the first time in his career. I really do think that the Rams are going to give a very, very serious run to see who's going to go to the Super Bowl this year. That's my take. And I want to go and I want to say a couple of things that Davante Adams said. He said that I'm absolutely enjoying the fact that there's a college type atmosphere here. It's breathtaking that there's no drama, that all there is ball to be played. Hardge, what say you?
Well, Davante Adams was part of the drama. So for him to say that, he needs to kind of take a look in the mirror. Yes, when he was in Las Vegas, yeah, he was doing his thing, but the team wasn't winning. So he decided that it was time to kind of bark at some folks and do some different things, because you leave Green Bay, because it seems like everybody wants to give Green Bay their props for the way, looking back about how good things were in Green Bay when you are with a professional organization that knows how to handle business. But I look at what he's been able to do throughout his career. No doubt about it. He is talented. Matthew Stafford felt like he got a fountain of youth last season. You talked about them playing in the playoff game, in the championship game between Philadelphia and themselves. And Philadelphia's Saquon Barkley had 2 big runs during that game. If he doesn't have those runs and Matthew Stafford is driving his team down the field for that game-winning drive, game might be a little bit different. And they could have gotten back to the Super Bowl. But back to Davante Adams. And, I look at this as you said, something that's definitely positive. I mean, he is talented.
I mean, he had 67 catches, 854 yards, and 7 touchdowns last season.
Yeah.
You put
most of those happened at the end of the year. Most of those happened at the end of the season, though, when Aaron got healthy and started really pumping him the football. I remember a couple games because I had him on my fantasy team, so that's how I know. At the end, he really got hot. So it was important to see that. But all in all, you look at Puka Nacua. Can he stay healthy? Can Puka stay healthy? He's had to deal with some of those injuries. I do like the fact that Jay Witt is there and he can learn under a wide receiver like Davante Adams and be taught things. But they're still in that division where San Francisco's still there. You don't know what Seattle's going to be. And can Arizona finally get over the hump with Kyler Murray? Those are good teams that are out there, but I'm with you. I think the energy with McVay is one of the brightest minds that was out there. He was on the fence a couple times about retiring, walking away, just because of so much work that goes into it. But they will be a team that a lot of folks have high hopes for. Let's just say that.
Davante Adams said he felt rejuvenated, and that's going to bode to the fact that the running game is what McVay really wants to get off. And with that movement and the safeties having to respect 2 wide receivers, just like the Cowboys are going to do with manipulating safeties, it's going to bode well for the running back to have a great season too.
Well, there he is, the world's strongest man, bringing you another World's Strongest Take. We're going to close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick. But coming up next, we're going to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Lee Corso.
Oh, yeah.
And how he is going to end it. We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, a real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
The JB and Sandy Show podcast. Stream it on the iHeartRadio app.
There's an accident at the corner of Burleson Road and McKinney Falls Parkway. Lots of stop-and-go traffic for drivers on 183 northbound, over half an hour of some slow speeds from D. Gabriel Collins Road over to Highway 71. There's also a stalled vehicle on Ed Bluestein Boulevard northbound, blocking off left lane after 51st. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by CONCACAF Gold Cup. The CONCACAF Gold Cup is coming to Austin's Q2 Stadium Thursday, June 19th. Saudi Arabia versus United States. Sea Stars Christian Pulisic and Tyler Adams fight to reclaim Gold Cup glory. Get your tickets now at SeatGeek.com. That's SeatGeek.com.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food, Smokehouse, and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Manor Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
Caroline Barrega had it all. A loving husband, thriving kids, and meaningful work. Then, her police officer husband's secret infidelity and abuse of his badge were exposed. In season 4 of the Betrayal podcast, she confronts his deception and the police department that overlooked his misconduct.
The kids and I thought we were living this life of love and a family. Never did I think that anything like this was going on behind our backs.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Betrayal, and listen now.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
If you're in the market for a wood fence for your home or business, Viking Fence is the right choice for you. Viking Fence has been in business for over 50 years and takes pride in being the most reliable fence company in Central Texas. Viking Fence does gorgeous work, from simple privacy fences to custom projects. Their quality is unmatched. Viking is the only fence company with their own facility where they custom cut red cedar, the most durable and attractive of fence materials, and offer 3 grades of fence pickets, one for every budget. Compare their lumber against the big box stores. And there is no comparison on quality and price. So whether Viking installs your fence or you're doing it yourself, Viking Fence will ensure your satisfaction. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 for a free estimate, or visit their wood fence galleries at vikingfence.com. When you think fence, think Viking.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Texas weather can be wild. Protect your home with residential metal roofing from Mueller Inc. Strong, stylish, and designed to last, our metal roofs handle wind, hail, and heat with minimal maintenance. With a range of colors and styles, you'll get lasting beauty and proven durability, all backed by paint warranties up to 45 years. Visit with one of our sales representatives today at any of our locations across Texas, including Marble Falls and Spicewood.
Friends, if you live in Austin, Bastrop, Georgetown, Killeen, or Lockhart, and you're tired of paying too much for car insurance, pick up the phone and call Fred Loya Insurance today. Insurance rates are constantly changing, which is why you need to call Fred Loya Insurance right now for a new and updated quote. Call now. Save money. It's that easy. Call Fred Loya Insurance at 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040 or visit fredloya.com. Remember, if you don't call, you don't save.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
Yeah, I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
iHeartRadio just gave driving an upgrade with presets, now on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Your go-to stations, podcasts, and playlists, all just a tap away on your dash. Start your engine, hit play, and drive happy. Free with iHeartRadio on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, covering the 40 acres.
What a great show we have had, and what a great week. We're on Hump Day, so that means we're going to continue to roll on. I want to give a shout out to Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman, who is coming through and bringing that heat. And, of course, what a great conversation we had with Chris Hummer of Orange 24, no, not Orange 24/7 Sports, talking house settlement, the expectations, and how we got to this point. And, of course, we had the world's strongest take. But it was announced yesterday that Lee Corso's final headgear game will be at the Horseshoe. And I don't think there was any doubt that game day, college game day, was going to be at opening weekend of college football, was going to be Texas versus Ohio State. Arch Manning's first game as a true starter going into the season. Lee Corso, why would you go anywhere else? I don't even know what other games are on the schedule, but they don't truly matter.
Don't care.
College game day, final headgear game for Lee Corso. I'm going to be honest with you, and I know it may not be a popular opinion here. I think this should have been done a while back. Lee was not
older.
The same. He was not the same the entire time, but I know that we have family members that we want to be around, and we want to try to liven them up. And you know as well as I do, these are the types of moments that he needs in his life to keep him going, to keep him relevant, to keep his energy and his juices going about the game. He's been a legend in it. He has been fun. He's been crazy. He's been zany.
Football without him.
And it is going to be a sad, sad day for a lot of people. I don't know if Kirk Herbstreit is going to make it through the show at all because of his relationship with Lee Corso. He's been in our living rooms forever. Saturday morning, that's why we're there. I got a quick story about Lee Corso. When my son DJ was, I think he was probably 7 or 8. They were on the fairgrounds. I was on one side, they were on the other side, and DJ is walking through the fairgrounds, and Lee Corso waves to him and calls him over and says hello. Well, then fast forward last season, he's Odell Beckham Jr. A T-shirt out of the crowd, and Lee Corso, of course, was part of that. So every time you get a chance to see Lee Corso, he always brings out a bunch of memories.
Man, I'm sad, and I've adopted the not so fast and to pay homage to Lee Corso. I am not saying that because I think I'm that live that I did it. No, that is Lee Corso. Everybody knows it when you hear it.
Yeah.
Lee Corso is one of my favorites, man. I don't know football without him.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be tough for me too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a different time, and you know, as anything else, you start to look at the nostalgia of it. But look, they got Pat McAfee up there now. They've got Nick Saban up there now. You got Corso. I mean, not Corso, but you got Herb Street. You still got Dez.
You ever look how
and
Nick
you
Saban looks at Pat McAfee when he's talking? Like,
at first, he didn't know how to take him.
What are you?
Yeah,
Are
at
you
first he
an
didn't
alien?
know how to take them, but now they tight. They taking drinks together, eating food together. I mean, Nick Saban looks like he's having a great time being up there. But my question is, do you replace Corso, or do you leave it with just those guys up
I
there?
think they're good the way they are. I mean,
Yeah.
how you replace Lee Corso?
Yeah.
Bring Shaq up there or somebody?
No,
like you got to bring a dominant entertainment figure from sports to do that.
Well,
And
Mac Brown is available. And Mac Brown used to do that. So he used to be in studio. So it will be interesting to see if they decide to bring somebody else. I don't think they should. I
don't think they should.
Because there's too many people up on that stage already talking. So it's just like, I mean, sometimes it can be a lot. But best of luck to him, and can't wait for that final game. And it just happens to be Texas versus Ohio State at the Shoe, 11 a.m. kickoff Central Time. You know how that goes. Big Noon Kickoff will be there as well. That's what that happens when you're
Pigs and eggs.
Yeah, you got to get it ready. But tonight we got the NBA Finals. OKC 5.5 point favorites versus Indiana. Indiana, they have to get this game going and turned into the right direction, because you start looking, if you get down 2-1, you can kiss the baby, because OKC is already OKC. This will, if OKC wins this game tonight, they will win the series in a gentleman's sweep.
Wow.
Yeah, because Indiana has no answer. They have to answer tonight. If Tyrese Halliburton is passive and not being aggressive and waiting until the fourth quarter, decide to try to make a run when it doesn't truly matter, it's not going to happen for them anymore. I know it's their home court advantage, and they hope to get it going. And I think OKC has not been good in game threes. They don't think they're 1-2 in game threes.
I don't think it'll be
offseason.
Halliburton to be the star tonight. I think that if Indiana wins this game, it'll be because Mathurin or Naismith or our guy from the University of Texas,
Miles Turner
steps up.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this much: if he is not the reason they win, he will be the reason why they lose.
Well, that's the truth.
Yeah,
that's always going to come on the stars.
He has to play. He has to play well, and he has to help his team out big time to be able to number one, he has to have his confidence.
Yeah, he's got to be 20-10 tonight,
because this is the moment that for himself, this could be legacy. This could be something huge, because we were calling him Mr. Overrated. No, well, we weren't, but people called him Mr. Overrated. But now you start looking at him and you're like, okay, don't let what you have already captured this offseason, this postseason, hurt you the rest of the way, because people will see you shrink, and you don't want to shrink in those situations.
No shrinkage.
No, you can't have that. Let's please play that we do not have that. I want to thank Mark Henry, as always, for doing his thing. I want to thank Marcus for doing his. And as we always say to you, like, follow, subscribe, and tell friends about the morning kickoff. We got so many things that we're going to be doing this summer. We have a lot going on, and you never know who's going to pop on. Speaking of that, make sure tomorrow you tune in. We have Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 joining us, and lifetime Longhorn, the legend, Hall of Famer, Earl Campbell, will be joining us for our Legends of the Locker Room segment. You do not want to miss that. For Mark Henry, for Marcus, I'm Hardball Hardge. And just remember this: don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Have a great day. Peace.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card. They accept Discover at Renaissance Fair?